It's Madden NFL 22, and EA Sports brings you the game of the week. It's the Dolphins and the football team coming up next.
It's a pretty frigid December day in our nation's. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. They're led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Mac Jones.
It was fun getting ready for this game, wasn't it? Because normally we talk to the coaches and the players. I think you and I asked to talk to the trainer to see how his arm is going to be.
A lot of ice after last week.
After last week's game, boy, what a performance that was. And you know who else is having fun? Receivers. Because they get a chance to do what they do best, which is go out and catch the ball.
Yeah, and that last week effort, he threw for well over 400 yards. The numbers on the ground for Gibson a week ago. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
On second down, here's Gibson again. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Meanwhile, Jones throw into the hands of McLaurin. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 2 carries for him now on the opening drive, both for good yardage.
And based on film study, they thought that there was a chance to spring him more than once for some pretty good yardage in this game.
Throwing Jones. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones got a man, and he hits him in stride. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Now Jones. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. They'll go. It's Gibson. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
After seeing what he did last week, throwing 4 touchdown passes, I had to go to my thesaurus to try and come up with some great words for what he did. I'm still coming up blank. He was scintillating.
I'm going simple. I don't have your thesaurus. I'm going dynamite. He was dynamite.
I'll take it.
Running right through him. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Here we go.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The numbers for him from a week ago. A boatload of carries, 111 for yards, and a touchdown.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. This Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Tua to throw again. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good. And the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed. But as we know and often happens, this is all still subject to change.
Oh, you're so right about that. But even though the math isn't there yet, I think it's going to take new math for them not to make the playoffs. They're almost certainly going to be in the tournament and certainly going to be a dangerous team if you have to play against them.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw. Jones. There again is Thomas. They've gone to him a lot. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. And here's a give to Gibson. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 45 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 41. Operating from the gun, Jones. Going to throw right side here, complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. On 2nd down, it's Gibson. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Now Jones on 1st down. Open man is Samuel, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Jones on 1st and 10. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And Washington has taken the lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Matthew McCrane on for the PAT. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Takes it at the 7. And he returns this to the 22. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed, getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Tua. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. Looking to throw. Jones. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Back to throw. Jones. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Brandon Graham able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? And we're usually talking about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took them to the limits.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's Tua. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Setting to throw on 1st down is Tua. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it's a 2nd down. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Throw left side complete. That's Stevenson. Touchdown!
Marquez Stevenson.
His second touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are going to jump back in front. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, then you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Washington ready to try again on offense.
And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Christian Wilkins.
Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Well, when you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
And some strong running. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. From the gun, Jones.
Lines up and lets it go for Samuel.
And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Tua Tagovailoa in the offense heading back out.
He's got to be feeling pretty good. Playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times, defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
On the ground, it's Eckler. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Looking to pass. Tua. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa.
This is swung out to Eckler, and he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Another catch for him there in this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, Do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Tua. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A big play there for the Dolphins. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. Now Tua just going to bat this forward on the end around. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. Marquez Stevenson. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Just a great individual effort there to take that pop pass and scamper off into the end zone.
And that's why offenses love that play, partner, because that gives them a chance to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers with a full head of steam behind them. It's often like a track relay. Legs 2, 3, and 4. That first guy steaming ahead, and he just hands it to you, and you get a chance to take off and go before you even get the baton.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing, and I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, the little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Jones now throwing on first down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll look to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 41-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Again, he'll drop to throw. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. McCrane able to knock this one through. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
From the 6. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Tua and the rest of the Dolphin offense heading back out. He's showing off that arm, showing it off very well. They've got the lead. Don't forget, though, about the protection he's had. The protection's been good. And
I'll guarantee you he hasn't forgotten about it at all, because that's keeping him clean in the pocket, allowing him to step into throws and make those deep passes come true. I mean, it's just been beautiful for him to do. But guess what? In the huddle, on the sidelines, guaranteed he's thanking those big guys up front for keeping him safe. I have a feeling he made him buy dinner.
Indeed, entertaining to relive some of those deep balls. On second down, Eckler. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or two. Once more, here's Eckler. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball and pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, third and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. Tua now on first down. He'll get this into the hands of Stevenson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2. The handoff, it's Eckler. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. He'll drop this one off to Eckler. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 55 rushing yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. In Washington territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 41. Tua going to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins.
Marquez Stevenson.
41 yards. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead.
But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead now up to 14. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. First possession of the second half now for Washington. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing...
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big connection on that one. 38 yards.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit. That might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
So how about that for a chain move? All the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Jones. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing Jones. That's Samuel, caught left side. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Back to throw again.
He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield.
And he will be marked down short of the 1st as they get to him at the 29. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. He needed 2. He only got 1. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10
at their own 28-yard line.
He'll hand off here to Eckler. Now room for Eckler.
And he's got room. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
87 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run here with Eckler. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Going to the air. Tagovailoa. He'll get this to Eckler. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. And this will be incomplete. In the third quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch.
And a loose football.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, you had an offense working with a comfortable 2-score lead here in the third quarter, and certainly doesn't feel as comfortable now following the turnover.
Yeah, you're right about that, because now the nerves start to come into play a little bit. You're a little bit jangled. You don't want to give your opponents any avenues to get back into the game. What you'd rather do?
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go.
Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence. Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson.
Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
Here's Jones on 3rd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Miami's offense set and ready to go.
And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Let's go, get excited, let's go, let's go. A gain of 11.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory.
110 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. On the give, this is Eckler. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll try to pick up the 1st with Eckler. And he's got the 1st before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. This is a counter play. Eckler, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Going on the ground with Eckler. The 2nd down play, not much better than the 1st, just a gain of 1 there. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now a toss, running left, Eckler. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Out comes the Washington offense as we're going to look at the playoff race in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Let's go, B, let's go.
From just shy of midfield, Jones. This one left side caught by Gibson. A broken tackle there, but not a ton to show for it. Tackled just on the other side of midfield. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it'll be fourth down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He gets it to Thomas. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. He'll dump that off to Gibson, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now Jones on first down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into it.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Christian Wilkins able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Second and 20. Another try after the first down sack. Jones, oh, he stays up. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Jalen Phillips, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I remember throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. For Washington on third down, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Back to throw. Jones. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Here we go, here we go.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
slings this deep from McLaurin, and that is incomplete. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. Well, that's the fourth time that they've tried to go for it on fourth down. They've only converted once, Charles.
And obviously not a good percentage. And if you're going to go for it on fourth down, you think that you've got the right play dialed up. You can't be stopped. Your momentum's going to keep going. But 1 for 4, that tells you that you need to look at things in a different way, and you need to tip your cap to the defense. They've done a great job.
He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Eckler going to get it again on second down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Here's Tua. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. It's Eckler again, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better.